going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Monster Legends. Want to thank you guys so much for coming out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright, peeps, as you can see here, there's a new Nemesis monster. Amazing. Also, maze informations. We've got some coins going on. There's a dungeon down here. Food dungeon. It's got like 500 maze coins in it, so make sure you're doing that. Just a little heads up first. Let's go ahead and jump in, though, and check this guy out. Now, as always, there is some fudging of the numbers when it comes to Social Point's side on this. They always do that when it comes to Nemesis monsters because they want you to buy them. Anyhoodles, we'll go ahead and jump into a test battle here just to show you some stuff and things. First up, part of the deception, if you will. You will notice your guy is level 130. Now, if you're going to spend a lot of money, you can get a level 130, absolutely. Odds are you're not going to have a level 130. The stats are all buffed. He has, buff things going on, and every time you fight, you're fighting enemies that are weak to your element. So you're doing extra damage and all kinds of good business. Another thing they try to do down here, this right here is the only skill you will have before you rank up. Oops. Yeah. This right here is the only skill you'll get before you rank your monster. The other three are all ranked up skills. The two-handed Skullcrusher, that's, once he's level 105 plus. Marikana Wraith, same deal, and Perfect Petroglyph. These are all things you get once you've ranked him, not before. Let's go ahead and drop one of his ultimates just to see what it looks like. It does look kind of cool, I'm not going to lie. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad monster. That's what a lot of people get confused, like I'm saying they're bad. They're not. His trait is probably one of the best traits in the game. Immune to stun, freeze, and possession. It's like the mountain trait, but even stronger. So I would say, hands down, to date, this is probably the best Nemesis monster you're going to run into. I'll say that, I'll be honest about it. He's very good, but he's not as good as they want to crack him up to be right out the gate. So if you just buy this guy at level 100, he's not going to be nearly as good as you're seeing right now, not even close. Jump over here into the Dark. This is also a very good one. I think he's the fastest one of the three. I could be wrong. But his skills got some stuns and stuff attached to it, so a little more powerful there. Drop his ultimate, check that out. So they're very good monsters. I would say personally, if it was me and I had the money to buy one, your best bet would probably be the light version. Now, could be wrong there, but I think personally that he is. He's got the sunburn effect, which is nice. He also has a 0 cooldown skill with both sunburn and daze. So it's a 30% accuracy reduction and a damage over time in the same thing. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I think this guy is does he have the highest power? Let's go back and check. He has 5,082. What does Mr. Dark have? Yeah. So the light guy hits the hardest. He's a little bit slower. The dark version is the fastest, hits a little softer, and the earth version is obviously the weakest of all three because it's the base entry level buy that you will spend 20 bucks on. The other two cost 30 bucks. But like I said, he definitely has an amazing trait, and he's a very, very, very powerful monster. But he's not as powerful until you rank him. So unless you've got, 120 Elementium chilling back, I don't think it's worth buying one. I can't say that. He's probably worth the purchase if you're gonna buy anyway. I think he's better than the VIPs because his trait is so amazing. But, totally up to you, peeps, if you want to buy him or not. Play around with him a little bit in the test battle, see what he's all about. But like I said, peeps, he does not have the skills they want you to believe he has until you rank him. He's not going to be level 130 unless you're spending a buttload of money. And his boosted stats are not going to be plus 10% forever. So he's going to drop down and be even a little weaker later on. Now, I just wanted to bring that to your attention because a lot of people get, they see this, they do the test battle, and they're thinking, holy crap, this guy's amazing, I need one. And they get him and find out that he's not as amazing as they initially thought, and it's kind of a letdown on your purchase. So that's why I make these videos, just kind of put it in perspective for you to let you know, hey, he is good, he's not bad, but he's not the monster they're showing you right now. He's not always going to be fighting 3 enemies that are weak to him either. So, up to you. Like I said before, I think the light version would be the version I would pick for him, just because I really like the sunburn. It's nice. Dark version is also very good. I'm not going to lie about that. Earth version, probably the weakest version of him, honestly. And that's why it's 20 bucks and they're 30 bucks. But that's going to be your new Nemesis monster, Warthak the Skullcrusher, Warthak the Mountainsplitter, and the Sunbringer. So, not a bad monster, very good. I'd say his trait is the best part about him for sure. It's a very powerful trait. It means he's only really vulnerable to stamina drain. That's it. It's the only thing he can be really stunned by is stamina drains. So, very good monster. Definitely cool. Something you guys should check out if you want it. If you're going to spend money, he's probably one of the better Nemesis monsters in my opinion. Hey, peeps. Also, war just ended. I don't know how it actually ended up. Let's go ahead and grab this and see. Looks like we did win. It was a super close war anyways, so, you know, what are you going to do? The guy had like double our monster power. It was crazy. Anyways, that puts us in a nice spot, actually. Because I do believe we've got enough to buy Reptile here. We do. We indeed do. So we're going to go ahead and do it. Give me Reptile. Be my baby. Amazing, peeps. We've got Reptile. He's a very good support. If you don't know much about him, he can give your monsters triple damage, which is really, really powerful. Very good monster. Definitely check him out. So I'm going to pick that guy up. We'll get him hatching sometime in the future. I don't know when. But I want to do something else today. I wanted to go over the updates. Because I never really do this. But there's always new stuff coming out. They're always like talking about it. So that's really what I like about Social Point, is they're actually at least kind of open with what they're doing. Usually don't just spring crap on you. Anywho, so let's jump into this. First up, PvP. Apparently they're getting a lot of questions why you can't use your PvP defense team in Team Wars or Dungeons. I kind of understand that. It's not super fun, especially if you don't have a lot of monsters having to dedicate a certain to your defense team. But I get where they're coming from, saying, you know what, you can't have them all defending you all the time and also attacking in other fronts too. I understand, I get it. It makes sense. Not the best thing, you know, but whatevs. It works. I understand that. Removing things like the items and stuff from the battles, all the continuous changes in PvP, you gotta realize it is a brand new system. You know, we beta tested it for a little while, then it came out for everybody. We're only 3 seasons in, peeps. Well, 2.5, really. So, yeah, there's a lot they're gonna have to work out and change, and they're working to do that. And that's good. A developer who's actually working on their game all the time is a great thing. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want it, like with last time's the 72-hour challenge was kind of boned. But it shows you they're actually changing things, they're working on things, and that's good. That's a good sign to me. So yeah, they changed a little bit of stuff in there with the PvP. No more using items in the battles. That makes complete sense to me. I don't know why they'd have that in there to start with. Trophies for defense wins. That makes sense. It rewards a good defense team. It's just good balance. That makes sense. And the rewards, I don't really know if I believe they're changed more to better reflect difficulty. I mean, really? Really? Maybe. Whatevs. Anyways, other plans for the PvP they have coming up. 1, after winning an attack, you'll be able to face even stronger opponents and win potentially more trophies. I don't know. Hopefully it's not all 3 of the enemies are very strong. Hopefully it's just like there's one outlier option to let you hit higher. Because even as of now, heading towards 3,000, sometimes the enemies are very tough for me. You know, they'll be ranked up and stuff like that. I don't have ranked monsters. So if my whole 3 options of people to attack are very tough opponents, that might stifle my progress forward instead of actually helping it. So, I don't know, kind of wishy-washy on that one. But down here, possibility to watch and replay, the ability to watch a replay of an attack or defense and share it with your friends. I am all for this. I think this is an absolutely amazing idea, because it's going to help you realize why you're losing your defenses, and to see things maybe you need to change on your defense team because, you know, the offense team is doing better. Shows you what kind of skills, you know, maybe better attackers are using than you are, and to me, I like that. I really like to be able to analyze things, other people attacking me attacking other people, just see if I can do something better. So, I absolutely love that idea. I hope it's a thing. I hope they put that in. The events. This is where they kind of address the balancing and the changes to event, because everybody complained about the 72-hour challenge being horribly unbalanced, where it was like, once you hit level 60, it was almost impossible to get a legendary out of the event without spending money, which sucked. But they say, you know, you've always got to be changing things so it's not always boring and not always the same. They take other things into account when doing that, like which other events are going on at the same time. So if they got multiple events going on at once, they have to make the events easier so it's not impossible to do all of them. It's easier to do, you know, at least one. So that makes sense. The monsters that are in the event, so obviously if there's really powerful monsters in the event, it's going to have to be a little tougher to get those monsters because they're very powerful. Understandable. And then they also take into account, like, the previous events they've done, the detailed analysis of all that, how many coins were spent, all that good business. They gotta take that into account. So again, it shows you that they're actually paying attention to their game. And even though sometimes they do the balances and it's not the balance you wanted, and it makes your game a little less fun for a second, they're trying it out. They're trying something, so that, to me, that's a point for the good, in my opinion, even if it's not always what you wanted it to be. Upcoming features. This is important. Now, this addresses the space for monsters. A lot of really top-end players are having trouble with space for monsters because, obviously, there's not much space. You run out of it. You don't have enough habitats. You don't have enough island. There's always a reason why you can't hold every monster in the game, which, I don't know, doesn't make super sense to me. Anyways, they talk about how, yeah, they want more habitats or they want more islands, but a lot of people play this on old devices that can't render all those habitats and monsters in, and it causes stability issues for them. So they said they're working on this. We're working on a super habitat, where you'll be able to store a big amount of monsters without affecting the performance of the device. I'm assuming that's just going to be a giant habitat that you don't see the monsters roaming on. There'll be like, 5 or 10, who knows how many monsters inside the habitat that don't actually walk around the surface, so it reduces some of the CPU load on your device. Makes sense to me. Sounds good. They don't have a release date for it yet. Unfortunate, but I understand. They're testing it heavily to ensure it works as intended. I'm assuming this would be like you don't lose monsters or something, you put them in there and stuff like that, because that would be a real boner. Anyways, this is one I really wanted to highlight. It's a tiny little sentence at the end, but it was very interesting to me. Coming soon this fall, the Relics. Your monsters will gain new abilities in combat when equipped with these precious relics. This could be potentially game-changing. I mean, runes already pretty much make a good monster amazing or a bad monster usable. But relics, this is entirely new. I don't know how it's going to work, but it sounds like it could be very, very interesting. So I'm kind of curious how this is going to turn out. Could be interesting. It could suck. It could cost money. Who knows? But it does sound like it'll be something cool, and I'm totally down with seeing what they do with it. Also, one more thing I wanted to address while we're here. The Nemesis Monster Warthak, down to the bottom, is right down here. It says his immunity is stun, nightmares, and possession. Now, I don't know if freeze was an accident and that's going to get nerfed to nightmares, or if nightmares is just a typo and it's meant to be freeze. I don't know. That could change. If it does change, it'll make him slightly less good, not going to lie, because stun, freeze, and possession are your big denial moves. So obviously, if he's immune to those, it's pretty powerful. So I don't know if that gets changed. It might. I don't really know, peeps. But that's what this says. It could be wrong. The game could be wrong. I don't know. Hopefully it stays the way it actually is right now, because that would make him much more usable. Anyway, just wanted to drop that by on you. Also, new premier monster, Sparking Mantis. Look at him. Look at him poke you with his feet. Anyways, apparently he's a big stamina drainer or something. They very much make sure you know that because they bold it all through the text. Stamina, 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 everywhere. So anyways, kind of want to brush over that really quick. I don't ever really go into that stuff, but it's useful to know. I like knowing new stuff that's coming up and things. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, don't forget to leave those in the down there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you liked the video, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button to show your support, and I will see you guys next time.